Graeme, Wallis and Margaret Austin.
Oh, they'll help you distribute. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Graeme Wallis and President of the Christchurch Civic Music Council and also involved in Voice of Music, which has made a few submissions. Also like to welcome at this stage Margaret Austin and also David Sell. David was also part of Voice of Music. The way we're going to work is Margaret's going to speak and we will endeavour to answer any questions that you may have.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. As Graeme has indicated, we're here representing the Christchurch Civic Music Council and the Voice of Music, representing the music interests of Christchurch, with the Christchurch Civic Music Council having some 54 affiliates, so that it is highly representative of music interests. And we are here to impress upon you that we are totally in support of the recommendation to fully restore the Town Hall. The Voice of Music was established by the Civic Music Council when it was challenged by the then Minister Christopher Finlayson to engage in developing the case for facilities in a rebuilt Christchurch. And our first submission was music in the City of Christchurch venues for the community, Solution and Legacy, which was presented to the Minister and to yourselves in August 2011. The present recommendation in the papers before the Council is fully in line with the submissions which we have made over the years: October 2011, May 2012, October 2012 and June 2013. These submissions arose out of a series of meetings which brought the music community together to look objectively at venues and facilities for a city of the future. And in one of them, given the discussions that have been held this morning, in the June 2013, there's a list of new concert theatres, concert halls in Europe and Australia against population and whether it was a flexible use hall or a multi-use hall, and the size and ambience, etc., of our town hall fitted perfectly with the assessment around the world. So we are very encouraged by the rationale presented in the documents before Council, and we endorse the uses that they've referred to for both the Lilburn Auditorium and the James Hay Theatre, as including the NZSO, the CSO, the City Choir, CSM, Big Sing, Primary School Festival, school orchestras, and also, of course, graduations, prize-giving ceremonies, civic events and social functions associated with the convention centre and other activities. There are a number of aspects of the that contribute to the success of the auditorium, and some of those have been canvassed this morning. It is a room of outstanding visual and atmospheric ambience, which is inspirational to performers and audiences. I might add, as in parenthesis, when the hall was opened and the acoustic problem occurred, it wasn't for the audience that the problem occurred, it was the performers, and having had two daughters down there playing on that playing in the orchestras at that time, they would come home and say, we couldn't hear anybody else but ourselves. Once the dumbbell went up, that was absolutely fine. They were perfectly happy and smiling, particularly after they had an audience with I've forgotten his name, never mind. Yes. The capacity of 2,200 has proved to be an ideal size for many musical activities. It is on a par with other city venues in New Zealand, such as the Aotea Centre with a capacity of 2,130, the Michael Fowler Centre with 2,209, and the Dunedin Town Hall with 2,300. The configuration is flexible and the acoustic quality is highly regarded. Adding to this is the purpose-built Raga organ, which is a significant asset to the venue. The James Hay has been used for chamber music, arts festivals, theatre and specialist performances. The foyer is particularly suited for social functions. We assert, though, that in addition to the restoration, there is a need to improve backstage facilities and the acoustic properties of the James Hay, which were under consideration prior to the earthquakes. The Town Hall complex has the advantage of being accessible, allowing for flexible multi-use. It's located in a central position with access to off Victoria Square. It has proximity to the planned convention centre and other performing arts facilities. The Town Hall is a public facility, a meeting place and a central place of celebration, and critical to a vision of the arts as a key economic driver for Christchurch. It contributes to a strong, vibrant community in Christchurch as a living and livable city. The Civic Music Council and the Voice of Music believe the Town Hall is an essential amenity for the city, a landmark public building, an exemplar for auditoria around the world. And the comments about it being identified as a landmark have already been referred to, and has the new auditorium in Paris that was opened just recently. And that no greater compliment can be paid than to have got Marshall and Day involved in as the experts in acoustic properties for that auditorium. It is essential to marketing a recovered and restored city with the ability to contribute significantly to the economic health of the city, similar to the data that was collected for the Wellington City Council in 2010. That the City Council is seriously engaged in a decision on the Town Hall has given the arts, music and performance community great heart and confidence. And the Civic Music Council and Voice of Music reinforce their submissions made previously and endorses the proposal to restore the Town Hall complex in its entirety. The restored Town Hall facility will undoubtedly contribute to creating a vibrant and diverse social and cultural community for the City of Christchurch, and we're looking forward to 2018. Thank you very much.
I just have a question on, and this is, this is going to sound a bit unreasonable coming from me because it's about dollars and cents. So it appeared that the proposal in the cost-sharing agreement said that we could have it all for brand new, a 1,500-seat auditorium, a 500-seat mixed venue, plus court theatre space, plus CSO administrative space and practice space, all for 167 million. But we're told now in this report that replacement of the existing town hall with a similar 1,500-seat auditorium and 600-seat mixed-use venue alone would cost 193 million plus site costs.
We saw that.
What was going on? I mean, I wasn't around for the signing of the cost-sharing agreement, but did they get that horribly wrong?
It would seem so from the data that's presented in the papers that are before you now. And in fact, we argued right from the beginning that a 1,500-seater auditorium was not going to be a multi-use, flexible size where it would exclude the organ. Right. Which I think Martin's submission was absolutely accurate and embracing that a town hall without the organ was unthinkable. But the 1,500-seater, from the evidence that we gathered from around the world, was simply inappropriate for a city the size of Christchurch if you were looking for flexibility and multi-use.
Well, it would preclude graduation ceremonies as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Have others got questions? Yanni?
Yeah, thank you. I think one of the points of your submission, what you've touched on, is that it's an important civic space, and obviously council's also consulting on removing VBAS from the strategic asset list.
Yanni, could you please not go into LTP matters?
But no, this is about the town hall, because VBase own the town hall.
No.
And we're proposing to remove VBase as a strategic. So I was just trying to get a sense from you, how important is it that this facility, if it is repaired, is kept in public ownership for the civic functions that it's had? Is that an important element to having a building of the scope and size?
We're not competent to answer that question. But it's owned and operated and is part of the treasures of the people of Christchurch.
I'd agree. It's really part of the fabric of the city, and it has been for years. And I still remember when it was being built that there was, and I've mentioned this before, there was that little slogan, "We'll have a brand new town hall." And that still rings in my mind from those years before. And so people have a sort of an ownership as a venue for the city, and I think that's really important. Yeah. The other thing I'd just like to add to what Martin was saying, the Civic Music Council raised the money for the pipe organ. That was $500,000 approximately, and we also got Rotary clubs involved. It took us 5 years to, in fact, get that all together. So, you know, there's been an interest from the people of Christchurch in the town hall, and I'm absolutely sure that will continue.
Do you think that the public would be willing to pay a contribution towards the repair?
Why don't you ask us?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened. Do you recall what happened when Mona Vale was up for sale? We bought everything from a square inch to a square foot, and suddenly the people of Christchurch came to the party and bought and did so. I was involved in the fundraising for the organ. I think actually the fundraising committee was chaired by Sir Hamish Hay, and nothing was easier. It was rather like the fundraising for the art gallery. People actually wanted the art gallery just as they wanted the organ, and they need to be asked.
We haven't asked, have we?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very helpful.